For the call, we welcome in our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Okay, Coach, you know, the folks in the Dog Pound, they live for games like this. Snowy conditions here at First Energy Stadium in Cleveland, Ohio. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Baltimore Ravens and the Cleveland Browns. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So here come the Ravens with their first look on offense. They'll be led out by the former Texas Christian University Horned Frog, Andy Dalton.
Okay, just to make sure I'm clear, you have not voted for NFL MVP yet, correct?
I have not. I always wait till the end. I always wait till the end.
I do the exact same thing, but let's just be honest here. Does he still have a shot? Here we are, week 16.
Yeah.
He's in the race, but is he really there?
Yeah, I think he needs a little help. It's fringe. Don't you agree?
I agree. I think he needs a lot of help. People have to play poorly down the stretch around him in terms of the other people who are the candidates, and he needs to be absolutely beyond spectacular. I think it's going to be really, really tough. But you know something? Being his team MVP, that's not such a bad thing, is it?
No, and he has been great for this team, no doubt about it. 8 quarters to prove himself. The Ravens get a new set of downs, give him 17 on that pickup.
And that's a run that'll energize an offensive line. They'll take that one all day long. Fundamental breakdown by the defense. You've got to be able to make plays on the edge.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. On 1st down, McKinnon again. And not much there at all. Maybe a yard up to the 43. Here's the offensive unit, and heads up. Look out for the Clemson Tiger.
Sammy Watkins was brought in to make plays. That's what he specializes in. Out on the perimeter or going inside.
Now before this 2nd down play, we'll get whistles and a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this 1st quarter. On 2nd and 9, Dalton. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down.
He kind of forced that one there, didn't he? It's almost like he predetermined where he was going to go with the football.
Yeah, he wasn't really going through progressions. He wanted to go to his top guy. You do that against this defense, they'll make you pay, won't they?
Yeah, they certainly will. They react very quickly to the thrown football.
Third down, a shot here for Dalton. And that will be incomplete. So the defense able to get off the field here on 3rd down.
And it's one of the goals of the game. They've got to be effective on passing downs. It's one of the few things defenses chart. How did we do on 3rd down? That's a nice start for them in this one.
And a great job on special teams to down it, as this will be marked out inside the 5-yard line.
That is how you flip field position. That's an absolute bomb of a punt. Downs it inside the 5-yard line. Absolutely ideal.
From that position, you're hoping to get it down inside the 15, inside the 5. Superb. Back near his goal line. Here's Carr. Oh, he got position on him, and he pulls it in. That's good for 28 yards.
Brandon, there have been some memorable snow games for championships in the NFL. 1948, Philadelphia Eagles, Chicago Cardinals.
Well, the most famous one in my lifetime, I think, is got to be 01, right? Raiders, Patriots, to send the Patriots to the Super Bowl.
The Tuck roll, didn't you?
Yeah,
I think that's one people remember. I also know this. In Miami, the infamous one, the snowplow game in New England, when they went out there and the Patriots had a guy come out and clear a spot on the field for their field goal kicker to kick the game winner.
Is that 82?
That was 82, and the Dolphins fans will never forget it.
Well, we're not seeing one of those famous games here, but it's fun to be in the snow nonetheless. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. The Ravens bring out an extra defensive back here on 3rd. From the gun, it's Carr. And now the ball's out. Carr lost it. Fumble.
On plays like this, when the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is a quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
The Ravens heading out on offense as we look at the playoff picture in the AFC. And with the final fortnight of games upon us, teams jockeying for position. Some of these games really starting to take enormous importance, as they always do this time of year.
I like how you use fortnight.
Hey, you're impressed, don't you?
I am impressed. That means 2 weeks, if I'm not mistaken, correct?
That does.
But how about exactly what you're talking about? Going down the stretch, how much importance is placed on these games. Look, everyone talks about every game's important. When you get to this time of year, maybe that importance gets quadruple. And that's where we are right now, to see who can make their last run, their last push to get into the playoffs.
Here's Dalton. He finds McKinnon, complete. They'll give him a yard on the play, and that'll make it 2nd down. They only got a yard out of that last completion, and that makes this 2nd and 9. Under heavy pressure, and down goes Dalton on the sand. DeForest Buckner in there to get him, and on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him. You know darn well both of these teams reviewed the film and saw that this defense had 5 sacks last week. They got to keep their QB upright.
And they're going to try their best to do exactly that. But they're facing a team where getting to the quarterback is a mindset. It's a mantra for them. And they play a game within the game. And you know what it is? Let's race to the quarterback and see who gets there first.
Now a third down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete.
I think the punter might start to get into a pretty good rhythm here if he keeps getting opportunities. But that's the last thing his team wants to have happen, right? The last thing you want to see is your punter feeling pretty good because he's out there all the time.
Yeah, first quarter only, but they're 0 for 2 on third down conversions to start this thing. And the kick's away as he angles this one for the sideline. And the punt goes out of bounds. Where will they put it? They'll put it just inside the 45-yard line. Heading out as the Cleveland offense now as they get set to take over here. The partner just looking at some of the struggles they've had this season. The playoffs are not in their future. As they start to peer toward the offseason, what moves might they make?
I think the running back position, and I know we talk all the time about the NFL being a passing league, but the teams that run the ball effectively, they're the ones that go deep into the playoffs and go to the Super Bowl. They have to upgrade here. And you and I both know in recent years in the draft, people have shied away from taking a runner early. But if there's that special one there, I say they go get him.
They go play action here on first down. He finds his running back, Hyde. And this time he's able to take it down to the 42.
Receiver downfield, offense.
Well, as a lineman, they are trained. You've got to stay close to home. If you're more than a yard downfield, they're going to toss that flag, and they did there. They'll give to Hyde out of the gun. Earl Thomas in on the stop.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
Carr completes it. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a third down.
It's a gain of 4. Brings up 3rd and 6.
And they'll need to get to the 35 if they want to keep this drive going on third down. Shotgun now for Carr. Jordan Reed has it. And he will be knocked down hard, but he will have the first down. His first catch, good for 8 and a first down. Carr will come up here with a 1st and 10. And he's a perfect 5 for 5 here to begin the game. From the gun, a give to Hyde. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on first down.
That's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
On 2nd and 11 now. Carr, they go screen pass to Hyde. And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36. So 1st and 2nd down went in the wrong direction. They'll try to do better here on 3rd and 13. Working from the gun, it's Carr. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Sacked by the outside backer, Telvin Smith. So they are going to call on Dan Bailey here. His career long is 56 yards done in Seattle. On to the second from Cleveland. It's the Browns in control of the football. They are, however, facing a 4th down situation.
Dan Bailey on for the field goal. A 61-yard attempt.
And this one will not get there. It's off to the left anyway. It's no good, and this will remain a scoreless game. And there is nothing easy about being a kicker on a day like this.
Yeah, I tell you, not only is the footing tough in the snow, but kicking that ball is like kicking a rock. Very difficult to get any sort of feel on your kicks.
So they tried the 59-yarder and missed it, and now this offense starts just 1 yard shy of midfield. On first down now, run with McKinnon. And he'll get this into enemy territory, but not by much as he's down to the 48. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading the play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Now a deep ball there on second down, but it'll wind up incomplete. And they'll need the 39 here for a first. This is third down.
93, 52, 93, 44.
From the gun, Dalton looks to throw. Open man is Gordon, complete. Gordon loses the football. It's loose. And this is picked up by the Browns. And he's into the end zone. It's a fumble return for a Browns TD. And he has great speed, defensive back speed. Once he got it and took off, there was no catching it.
And I know every team tells you to hustle no matter what the play, but there was no chance of catching him. Maybe if it had been a defensive tackle running with the ball.
After reviewing the play, the ruling on the field is reversed.
Why we saw that field goal try a moment ago, I'll never understand. But as a result, this offense, they've got to be pumped. 1st and 10 in striking position already. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. That's good for a Raven first down, 15 yards there. Although his reputation as a speedy runner precedes him, it's always fun to watch him work.
It is eye-opening, isn't it? Because when you see him get the ball and just go, in addition to that speed, it helps out his blockers. They don't have to hold blocks for long because he's just going to speed right past them.
8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on second and short. On second and a couple, Dalton.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
After the incompletion, here now, 3rd and 2. The first carry now for the BYU man. It's Jamal Williams. And he's got the first, but we also have a flag on the field.
Offense.
And they're already walking backwards. That hold coming from the middle of the line, the center.
And it's difficult for him because sometimes you've got people right over you, and as soon as you snap it, trying to get your hands up and block them, you can be a little bit late getting it done.
Andy Dalton. And this is caught. Touchdown, Baltimore. John Brown. His 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Ravens have taken the lead. And, partner, they found a gap there on the post pattern, and it was in the middle third of the field.
And that's really difficult to do because ordinarily the safeties are back there to prevent that happening. But they found the opening and exploited it.
Extra point through the snowflakes, up and good. And that makes the score 7-0. A drive there of just 4 plays. And it's capped off with a Ravens touchdown. Now after the touchdown, it's Bosher to kick it away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. It hasn't gone particularly well for them. That's obvious. In these conditions, no points so far. They've got to get that offense on track. The question, how do they do it?
It is the age-old question, isn't it? And to me, finding a way to make sure your playmakers touch the ball without it being too exotic. Meaning you don't have to go deep down the field. Maybe you hit them on those short passes on the perimeter. Make sure you just turn around and hand it to your best runner and get out of the way. Don't cause any extra stress on your offense.
Check.
They run again with Hyde on first. Hyde a first down and more. And he's got it across the 50 to the 47-yard line. 14 yards, and it's a Cleveland first down. Consecutive plays now where that offensive line has really created a lot of space.
And we've seen the confidence rise, haven't we? It borders on arrogance now, and that's that good arrogance, believing you can run the football whenever you get good and ready.
Now a man open down the middle of the field. And he's going to get this inside the 30. Big yardage there for the Browns, 18.
Well, coaches always talk about finding balance on offense. I don't think you get much more balance than this. Big-time run, big-time pass.
A 1-2 combination. Look pretty good.
How about that? Let's see if they can continue to take that kind of a punch, though. 5
yards on the catch there. Brings up second down.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
They'll get him to the ground at the 20 following a pickup of 4. Call it a gain of 4 there, so it sets up a big play here, 3rd and a yard. They missed a field goal on their last drive. Here they need something to even get into field goal range on 3rd down. On play action, now Carr, and able to find Green. And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. Defense was expecting run, and they're dealt a pass of over 15 yards. They'll run for it with Hyde. And he goes backwards on this one, losing yardage to the 7. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up 2nd down. They'll try again here from the 7 on 2nd and goal. 2 minutes on the clock, 2nd quarter, 7-0 ball game. I will remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. Absolutely nobody fooled there. He's going nowhere fast as he stopped behind the line of scrimmage. They've been stuffed twice here for losses. Now it's 3rd and goal. From the gun, Carr. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Telvin Smith. And he'll bring it all the way back, just a yard or 2 shy of midfield.
Holding. Defense.
So they elect to decline it.
And why not? Just go ahead and let the play stand, and they'll take that.
So the special teams penalty cost some yardage there as they come out on 1st and 10. So Dalton now. And John Brown's got it complete. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. 12 yards the pickup there. Good for a Raven first. 1st and 10 for Dalton. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down. So line of scrimmage still at 39 on 2nd and 10. To throw again. Dalton. And he's going to go down. Back near midfield at the 49. The Ravens going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. 3rd and long. What will Dalton dial up? And the pressure gets to him again. Now the Browns will use the first of their 3 timeouts as the clock stops here with 46 seconds remaining in the first half. Here's Matt Bosher now as he's on to punt for Baltimore. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. And this one hits at the 3 and then bounds into the end zone for a touchback. Here's the Ravens defense as they head out to set up. The Browns drive about to get started. And you have to figure they won't just sit on the football here in the final minute. The way things have gone, they need to try to make something happen offensively.
But maybe they should. Maybe they should sit on it here because of what you just said. They haven't made anything happen offensively. Getting ready to go into the half, give them a chance to take a deep breath, exhale a little bit, and start over. I don't know if this is the time to push it myself.
Yeah, right now, under 100 yards of total offense. Complete to Hilton. That good for 21 yards on the catch and run.
Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes when they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah, and the deflection works both ways. Maybe a defender gets a hand in the way and it pops in the air. And sometimes you throw it so hard your receiver can't handle it, and he pops it up in the air for the defenders to grab as well.
But a moot point there as they were able to connect.
Well, nearly another interception there. That would have been 2 drives in a row with a pick. He's got to start taking care of the ball way better than what we're seeing.
Interestingly, that throw was probably worse than the one he threw the interception on last drive, but fell incomplete. Now the Browns signal for the second of their timeouts as they stop it with 19 seconds to go in half number 1. Second down pass play got them 8 yards. Now they've got a third and a couple remaining. Again, they'll throw with Carr. Complete here. It's high. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. Now a timeout signaled for, and they'll get it with 10 seconds to go before halftime. So even though it's first down, here's the field goal unit on now to try to get 3 before halftime. They'll put it down right at the 40, so call this a 50-yard attempt. And this one looks good. It is good. Right down the pipe. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. So a big play before the end of the half to get them into this spot, and they cash in with 3.
How about the 1-2 to the solar plexus on that one? The big play, the field goal, not much time left on the clock. That's the way to go into the half.
And he nearly broke that for more, but as it is, they'll start this drive at about the 37-yard line. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. Time for a final kneel down or a safe run, and then they can head to the locker room with a lead.
Yeah, or they can even run a screen. You know, something they feel is somewhat safe that might actually pop and turn into a big play. That's what you usually run in this situation.
Or go 4 verticals because why not?
Because you're feeling it, right? You're just feeling it.
Here's Bosher to kick it away. This one fielded at the 5. And he'll take this across the 25. Couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. Here's the Browns offense now getting set to start off this third quarter. And with the way this offense has played thus far, to be frank, they got to feel pretty grateful to be in the ball game.
I would agree with you totally because they've done all of nothing offensively in this game, yet they still find themselves in a position on this drive where a touchdown can give them the lead. They need to take advantage of it.
And they're still looking for that first touchdown here in the third quarter. All they have so far, the field goal. A little bit of space there for the first down run as that's going to get him about 5 yards. Denzel Perryman there to bring him down. Now a play fake. Carr. He's going to air it out deep for Green. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on, third down. They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass. Operating from the gun. Carr finding Green complete. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled.
Nice catch right there. Brings to mind the sentence, when in doubt, find your veterans.
He used to laugh back in the day when they would call guys like him crafty veterans. You get up in your 30s, you're still playing receiver, but you're around that long at that position, you're doing something right.
Just remember this. When he was young, he thought the crafty veteran was simply a guy who couldn't run anymore. Now he understands a little bit better.
First down, a run with Hyde. And I think we've got a hold here. It's a 5-yard pickup for the moment. Let's see what our referee says. So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards.
Hey, come on out here. Come get some.
Following the penalty, it's Hyde. Solid move, but he's corralled just beyond the 40. The Pro Bowler Chris Harris is in on the tackle.
Well, they had that one sniffed out. Excellent run blitz. Stopped that one for a short gain.
What makes a good run blitz a good run blitz?
The ability to stay on task, to follow up your assignment, go to the gap you're supposed to cover, and not be deterred by anything else.
Green brings it in.
He wasn't ready. He wasn't ready.
It's a gain of 8. Brings up 3rd and 7.
And on third down, a nickel formation here defensively. From midfield, here's Carr. He's got his man here. It's Green. And all the way in. Touchdown, Cleveland. A.J. Green with touchdown number 8 on the year. And once again, the Browns are back in front. When A.J. Green is on the field, you never know what you're going to get, but it's usually exciting, and that was certainly exciting.
He's an elite route runner, has big-time speed, tremendous body control, and I love the way he reacts to the ball in the air. He locates the ball a lot faster than defensive backs and makes plays on them, and they often turn out really, really good for Cincinnati Bengals.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
That one, a first down pickup of 8. On first and 10, here's Andy Dalton. Gets it to Gordon. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. A good pickup there of 20 yards. Nice completion there for Andy Dalton. Charles, you worked some of his games when he was at TCU. Now you've worked his games in the NFL. What progression have you seen?
I've seen a guy who took over as a freshman in college and got better and better each year. Always added a little bit more to his game, gets stronger. But the best part about him is he's always been accurate. They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, this big defensive lineman will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
And he's taken down inside the 30. It's a pickup of 11 at a Baltimore first down.
And while we're seeing more and more of these plays come from the college game into the NFL, and that one, it was run with great success, how about the evolution of the offensive lineman? We're seeing less and less big guys who can't move and more guys who are a lot more mobile and can get out in front of that type of...
Nowhere to turn here, and he's going to go down. Back at about the 37-yard line. DeForest Buckner has now recorded 10 sacks on the season. That's number 4, sack number 4. They had 4 last week, so he's been down on the ground a lot.
Partner, they say the eye in the sky does not lie. And that's indeed the case because they watched the game tape from the previous week.
And they'll take it into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown. Jerick McKinnon, his 9th touchdown of the season. And the Ravens have once again taken the lead.
Well, partner, that was another explosive run, and one thing I've learned in our time in this game, yes, the offensive line has to get a lot of credit, but for big runs to occur, the wide receivers have to block well downfield.
And then you have to have a good guy carrying the ball too, right?
Oh, without a doubt. You need that difference maker lugging the rock.
So with the missed PAT in his rearview mirror, he goes back out to kick this one off. This one fielded at the 5. And a nice job there as he gets this one up just shy of the 35-yard line at the 34. All right, here now a look at A.J. Green. Good day for him so far here in the third quarter. He's hit pay dirt once, over 100 yards. But, hey, it's the third quarter. He's thinking, I want more, right?
He wants more, and it just increases the confidence of his team because every play he makes, that means his quarterback is really feeling good about throwing the football. Probably feels like he can't throw an incomplete pass when he throws it to him right now.
Yeah, he's looked really, really sharp.
And that's the big fella's MO right there. Running through tackles, keeping the sticks moving forward. This defense, if you don't bring 11 guys to the ball to try and get him on the ground, he's going to keep making runs like that. I feel the press box shaking every time he touches the rock.
Now left side, a completion to his tight end. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. Just what the Browns needed there. Good for a gain of 17.
One of the advantages of zone defense, as I remember it, is being able to see the play develop in front of you. One of the disadvantages, when they find those levels where they can hit you with it, sometimes behind the corner and in front of the safety, it makes it tough to defend.
Carr now, 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. Going for Hilton, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Telvin Smith. And they have the football and will take over at the 24-yard line. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And the first play of the drive goes to McKinnon. And he'll be brought down here at the 28. Levante David, the Bucs' leading tackler, 6 of the last 7 years in there to make the stop. They stay on the ground. This time it's Williams. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, so they're left with a 3rd down and 6. They run it again with Williams. He'll have a first down past the 40. A big run there. 29 yards and a first.
Here we go.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point. Going to make that defense stand up and stop them. So a 1st and 10. And upcoming from Browns territory now at the 42-yard line. Now the first carry for Chase Edmonds. And he'll be brought down on what's going to turn out to be the final play of this 3rd quarter. 1 quarter remains here in Week 16. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Some good games going on in the early window. This might be the best of the bunch. Complete, the tight end Kelsey. And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line. Chewing up big yardage. Another nice gain there. This one goes for 20. Andy Dalton now 10 of 17 throwing the ball. He's got a 1st and 10. They run it with McKinnon. The nice footwork gets him just inside the 10 to the 9, but no further. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
1 yard gain. Brings up 2nd and 9 at the 9-yard line.
On 2nd and 9, Dalton. And that's going to be incomplete.
Well, partner, so much for the mismatch. How about the guy at the 2nd level, that big linebacker, able to run with the receiver and make a play on the football?
3rd down, a shot here for Dalton. And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked off by the all-pro corner, Josh Norman. A critical error there in a tight game in the 4th.
All you talk about is taking care of the football, and especially with a lead here in the 4th quarter, turning it over, now the door is open for the opposition.
Just in general, when you're passing in the 4th quarter with a lead, no matter what point, you got to be super careful.
Got to be careful, and sometimes you can be so careful that you end up running yourself into an error.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. And now the throw hauled in by Green. Big yardage there for the Browns, 18. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
Carr now to throw. He finds his running back, Hyde. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. Big yardage there for the Browns, 18. And just in general, Charles, on a play like that, how tough is it for the defense to account for a running back essentially being a receiver downfield?
It's very difficult, especially if the running back has skills like a receiver, and you're aware of that before the game even begins. So throughout your practice sessions, you're going to want to be aware of him. Where is he lining up? What can he do? What kind of damage can he do to us downfield? And who can match up with him without weakening our overall defense? You're exactly right. It's a tough task to match up to him.
So 2nd and inches after that first down completion went just shy of the marker. This is caught by Hearns. And he'll get this down inside the 5 to the 4 before he's out of bounds. It's an 8-yard pickup, and it leads to a 1st and goal. Only way to get the lead here, of course, with a touchdown, and that's what they're gunning for on 1st and goal. They'll run high. And he will push his way forward down to about the 3-yard line. It's a gain of a yard, and it'll set up 2nd and goal. So the ball position now at the 3. Here's 2nd and goal.
Here we go, G. Hey, it's just me and you. It's just me and you.
Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the 4th quarter. On 2nd and goal, Carr to the goal line, but it's incomplete.
Get your backs to the goal line. I can hear my high school coach right now. This is when force meets force. Got to be physical in order to win this battle.
Yeah, that's where the physicality pays off. A nice job forcing the contact and forcing the incompletion.
Yeah, Coach Ford would have loved that play.
And he finds the tight end, Reed. And this will result in him losing yardage. Back to the 3. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1. Well, you throw it this close to the goal line, usually you're thinking touchdown. Here they actually complete it but lose yardage.
When you're this close to the goal line, you have to anticipate that maybe you're going to see a defense that you can make a case that there's 11 in the box. There's just no room. So I'm with you. You got to find a way to push things downfield a little bit. Any type of space is better than what we just saw there. And that end result, not one that's satisfactory to them.
And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And they had a nice little drive going last time. Threw the interception in the red zone. Costly.
Bad enough to throw it anywhere, but that drives coaches insane when they're thinking about, hey, we got a shot at points already. We're already in a spot where you're thinking you got 3 on the board for sure, and to come away with nothing, that's a really tough one for them to swallow.
Yeah, will they make up for it? After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Here's McKinnon. And they'll scratch out only about a yard up to the 32.
Watching that play unfold and watching him complete it brought back memories of doing all those pursuit drills to make sure you don't over-pursue and let a guy get a cutback laying on you. He did that very well.
You praised him on tape yesterday for the angles that he takes to the ball. Took a great angle right there. So it's Raven football here as we welcome you back. And they're facing a big 3rd down now in this tie ball game. Dalton. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked up by Levante David. And they will be set up now as he brings this thing all the way back inside the 20. So how about that for a momentum switch?
We're in the 4th quarter and it's a tie game. You've got to take care of the football here. Now their opportunity to take the lead right out the window, and everything is flipped in the other direction.
A running play here on 1st down is going to go nowhere as he is tackled behind the line of scrimmage. To throw is Carr. He's got the tight end, Vanette. And he'll go out of bounds in the red zone just inside the 20. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
That was a nice throw out there to the flat, but they defended that pretty well. The hope is to go ahead and put it on him so he can turn and get upfield and gain additional yardage. There just wasn't anywhere to go on that play.
And they'll lose yardage here. Knocked back to the 19-yard line. Ravens going to use their third and final timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. And Bailey able to knock it through. And they have taken the lead here in the final 2 minutes. Big kick right there to give them the lead in the fourth, but there is still time left for a final drive.
Did they score too soon? Post-game will tell us, right? Depending on what happens on this drive, that's how we'll analyze it. If the other team scores, they scored too soon. If they somehow hold on, they manage the clock exactly right.
Elsewhere, they're into the fourth at Lucas Oil Stadium in Indianapolis. And the Colts have scored again to widen their lead even further. If they indeed win, it would be win number 9 on the season. So they'll come up first and 10 now from the 33. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. Now in desperate. And that's caught inside the 35. Sammy Watkins. He's going to go. And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. Sammy Watkins. His 6th touchdown of the season. As his guys have taken the lead here in the final 2 minutes. Might be seeing that one on the highlight shows tonight. The home run ball here in the fourth quarter to take the lead.
There's nothing like being aggressive, preaching that to your team, and then following through. All the way through. Go ahead and throw one more up there. Why not?
Been a great game, and we are not done yet. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So Derek Carr in the offense, down by 4, a little over 80 ticks to go. They need a touchdown. A field goal is worthless now as they come up on first and 10. Back to throw. He's got it to Hilton. 13 yards to pick up there. Good for a Cleveland first. He's back to throw. Clock's under a minute. Still plenty of time, partner. They have all 3 timeout.
That means they have plenty of options in their play calling and where they target on the field. They can throw it downfield, maybe even in the middle, and use their timeouts.
They got exactly what they wanted there. Out route, catch, get out of bounds, stop the clock.
And I have to criticize defense here because you know the situation. You want to keep them inbounds and have the clock run. So I'm sitting on the outside portion of the field and not letting them throw an out route. Throw anything inside and I'll make the tackle. An out route? That's not the way you're supposed to play it.
Carr to throw.
I'm a little surprised right here. They've got 3 timeouts left. The clock's running down, and they aren't using them. Those timeouts do you no good at home. Use them now.
Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on 2nd down. Now Carr. He's going to let it fly. And I think that one might have been intercepted, but he will be ruled out of bounds. So this will go only as incomplete. So he's unable to complete it there, and just not the game that you would expect from him. He's been off the mark, really, start to finish.
Yeah, it makes you wonder what exactly is going on. Is he a little bit dinged up here, or is he just off just by a bit? Maybe he can get it back in this situation. He'll need to.
And able to find Green. Now the Browns will use the first of their 3 timeouts as they stop it with 22 ticks to go in the fourth. Back to throw. Carr. He's going to find his running back. It's complete. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. Now the Browns signal for the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 13 seconds left to play. Back to throw. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. And a timeout coming in. This will be their final one with 10 seconds remaining. Now following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17. He'll look to throw. touchdown. And they have taken the lead here in the final seconds.
So for those of little faith, guess what? It got done. They now have the lead with that touchdown this late in the contest. I wonder if that was a play they were holding or a play that they just knew would work from past experience.
Well, I just saw it in their eyes on the sideline before starting that last drive, and they did. You're right. They got it done. Looks like they're going to be the winners. Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown. This will be taken about the 12. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. Look at the clock. Everyone knows the situation. Probably time here for one final play.
And we know what that play is going to be. It's got to be some sort of hit.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Well, we saw a close game that kept us on the edge of our seats down to that final whistle. And right before that final whistle, defense with one last exclamation mark there, getting the sack to end it.
I love how you phrased it because we were waiting to see what would happen. Obviously, we thought something would happen downfield. Instead, it happens in the offensive backfield, and that's your ball game.
So for Cleveland, it's a good fifth win for string. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL.